What's up guys, it's Instinct here, and today I'm making a full banner tutorial with Cinema 4D and Photoshop. I've done two versions of this banner. This is the first version, which I did with a paid graphics pack, and this is the second version, which I did with a free graphics pack. This tutorial is for beginners or for experienced design. There's no plugins required for this tutorial, and by the way, check the link in the description for a copy of the graphics pack, Cinema 4D project file, and Photoshop document, all free to download. The only thing that will not be included is the material. However, a link to my material pack will be in the description for you to buy. With all that being said, let's jump right into the video. So what you guys want to do is you guys want to click the link in the description and download the Cinema 4D project file. Now once you guys download it, you guys can go ahead and open it, and you guys should get greeted to something like this. Now right away, what you guys want to do is go ahead and delete the logo, unless you're making a banner for FaZe, but you're most likely making this for yourself. So what you guys want to do is basically go ahead and make your text, or you guys can use a logo. For this example, I'm going to be using the Synergy logo. So go ahead and go to File, go to Merge, and go ahead and grab your AI. It should be in here somewhere. Synergy logo right here. Go ahead and click OK. Hop out of the camera, just go ahead and click this button, and you guys should see your logo. And if you guys are doing this with text, I'll cover that in a second. What the heck is happening? Oh, I'm clicking the window key. I'm pretty dumb. So what you guys want to do is you guys want to go ahead and select an extrude, and go ahead and put the spline right here into the extrude, like so. The arrow pointing down. Now from here, you guys can go ahead and move it to the center. Now you guys are gonna notice that this is over here, and I'll show you guys how to fix that in a minute. Go ahead and just move it down around to like the portal-ish area. Go ahead and click this button to go back into the camera angle. I'm actually gonna go back out of it because this is out of line, like out of the camera. Now what you guys want to do, if you guys have this problem with your logo, there's a chance you might. Go ahead and click this button right here, and then you guys can go ahead and move this. And you guys want to like center it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just kind of get it as close as you can. By the way, hold Alt to move the camera angle around, but make sure you are out of the camera. So go ahead and click this button and make sure that you guys can see like the lines, otherwise you'll screw up the camera angle. So now what you want to do is go ahead and like use Alt, and you guys can change the camera angle, and just go ahead and move this to like the center of the logo, like so. It doesn't have to be perfect, and then put it in like the middle, like on the like the Z-axis here, just something like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, like so. Once you guys have it all centered, go ahead and click this button again, and basically it will lock that in. So now you guys can kind of go ahead and rotate it and move it around without it being like how it was before. So now I'm gonna hop back into my camera angle, and I noticed that this logo is a bit small, so I'm gonna go ahead and click this scale tool right here. Go ahead and scale this up like so, and then go ahead and rotate it. Like, I think that's a pretty cool angle. I really like that. And select the extrude, and you know, give it a few adjustments, make it kind of like that, like so. Yeah, I like it like that. Now if you guys are doing text, then you guys can go ahead and just go to MoGraph and go to MoText, like so. Change the text to whatever you want. I'm just gonna do like name, for example. All caps I always use, and pick your font. Wait for the fonts to load. Just choose like your font. For this I'm using Primetime. You guys can use whatever font you want. Go ahead and scale this down. Click the scale tool right here and just kind of drag it down to like so. I highly recommend using a logo because it's just kind of off if you guys use like a like text, but you guys can do it. I just think it works better with logos. So go ahead and get your text like so, and you guys can change it. If you guys hit C on your keyboard, if you guys are doing text, you guys can go ahead and like individually curve each letter, which is something pretty cool. And also you guys can do the thing with this as well and kind of center it like this, but I'm not going to do that since that is going to take quite a bit of time, but you guys get the point. For the most part, everything should be the same if you are doing text or logo. So yeah. Alright, so now what you guys want to do is, once you have it positioned how you guys want to, go ahead and if you guys want to make it like add more depth to it, go ahead and just change this like so. I'm gonna do like, I want to do like 60. Let's just make this 60 even. Yeah, so that is looking good. And what you guys can do is go ahead and go to caps, go to fill caps, both put these at both fill caps, and put this to like 1 centimeter. Put this one at 1 centimeter, and then put these at like 3 centimeters maybe. Let's try 3. Yeah, I like that. But yeah, so once you guys have this done, and this should all be the same steps with text as well. So unless you click C, if you guys click C on the text, then make sure to do this step before you guys click C. Otherwise, you can't go back and edit the text. If you guys have already like clicked C, go ahead and click Control Z, and you guys can go back and then redo it. Alright, so now once you guys have the extrude or mode text, it works the same way. Go ahead and click Control C, Control V, and go ahead and hold it right here, and go ahead and select an atom array. And once you guys have your atom array, go ahead and drag the layer into atom array like so. Click atom array and put these down to like 1, both, like so. Yeah, you guys can also do 0.5 if you guys want it thinner. I'm gonna go with 0.1 now, or 1. Change this one to 1 as well, like so. There we go. Now you guys can start applying your materials however you guys would like. I don't remember the materials I used, if I'm being honest, for this. Alright, so I'm pretty sure I used this material, so I'm going to be using this material. So go ahead and select any material you want. Again, I'll leave a link in the description to this exact material pack. It's actually a pack by Quezi. Yeah, link in the description if you guys want this exact material. But I'm also going to be using material from my planet pack as well. So this material for the text or the logo is called Fung. But yeah, just go ahead and drop this onto your text or your extrude, and go ahead and select cubic and seamless, of course. So now we have this going, and if you guys ever want to like preview anything, you guys can go ahead and click this button right here, but it's gonna take a while from the particles. So what I recommend doing is deleting the particles, then you guys can go ahead and click this and it will start to render, and then it will render out. And then once it's done rendering, always make sure to hit Control Z to get those particles back. And that is just an easy way to render it out and see what it looks like. Now, if you do turn off the layer, it still renders. I'm not entirely sure why, but I always just delete the layer, render it out, and then bring the layer back. Alright, so now what you guys want to do is you guys want to go and click the atom array, go ahead and click the button right here. And where it says extrude, put the subdivision onto 5. And what you're going to notice is, I'm going to go ahead and click this button right here, the camera one. Always make sure to go out of your camera before making any angle adjustments, otherwise you're going to mess up the camera angle. But when you put the subdivision higher, you're going to notice that it kind of makes a grid effect. So if I change the subdivision, you can see what that does. So I'm going to use 5 for the subdivision, and I'm going to apply my material from my planet pack, which I actually have to import the pack. Go to presets and go to, it should be in here. Yeah, right here. And I'm going to be using Cloud 9. Actually, I'll do Cloud 9 V2. Alright. By the way, if you guys want to know how to import materials, I have a video on that. Link in the description as well. But back to the video. I'm going to be putting this Cloud 9 material onto the atom array, and I'm going to check cubic and seamless. Perfect. Now, real quick, I'm actually going to check the material for the portal. I forgot to mention, what you guys want to do is you guys also want to go down to Portal, and if you don't have Quezzy's pack, then all these materials are going to be like have a question mark on them, or they're not going to be showing up. Basically what you guys want to do is wherever you see blue, you can use any material you want for any part that is blue. But if you have Quezzy's pack, which again link is in the description, I believe it's like $4 or $5, something like that. If you guys have his material pack, you guys can go ahead and use the exact materials I'm using, but you also need the Cloud9 V2 material for my planet pack if you guys want to follow the complete tutorial. But you guys can really use any material. But back to what I was saying, for the metal material I use specs, and I believe I unticked bump. I remember I changed something. I'm not entirely sure what I did. Honestly, I think I just unticked the bump, but I remember changing the material slightly. I apologize for that if you guys are using the exact materials. But anyways, you guys can basically use any metal material, by the way, on the portal. Actually, I'm gonna be using my my metal material. Let me go ahead and grab that best metal right here. There it is. And let me go ahead and just replace this material with the metal material, and that should look a lot better. Let's do this for particles, the portal, and that's it. So, like, again, wherever there is blue on this portal, whatever material you want to put on that, just go ahead and drag and drop it like so to replace it. It should automatically be cubic and seamless since you're just replacing it, but if it's not, go ahead and check that for each one that is blue. Then for the portal itself, use a metal material and then just drag and drop it on. Do that for the particles as well. You guys should be all set to go. Alright, so once you guys have done all this, you're basically done with the Cinema 4D part. Now what you guys need to do is hit Control S like so, and actually hold up, let me group these, and then I'm gonna name this logo, and now you guys should get this instead of the phase logo at the beginning. So now I should update the file to be like this. Anyways, what you guys want to do is go ahead and click this little button right here and go ahead and click save, and then save it to wherever you want. Go ahead and click these three little dots, and you guys can choose the directory. For me, I just saved it in my renders folder. Here are all my renders if you guys want to see that real quick. But yeah, and then you guys can name it whatever you guys want. So I'm gonna name this Synergy Portal. Yeah, click save, and this is where your render is going to save. Pretty self-explanatory. Go ahead and close this out. I'm gonna adjust the angle real quick. Actually, never mind, that was a bad idea. So yeah, my bad. And yeah, so we are basically done here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and click this button right here and it will render. Go ahead and I'm just gonna go ahead and click yes. You guys shouldn't get that, but yeah. I'm gonna do a time lapse on this render, so enjoy the time lapse. So once your render is done rendering, what you guys want to do is you guys want to open up Photoshop, and you guys want to go ahead and click the link in the description and download this enhanced pack. This enhanced pack is completely for free, so there's really no reason not to download it. So once you guys have this enhanced pack downloaded, go ahead and open it up, and then go over here, go to file, and go to new. And I always do 2120 by 1192. And then you guys can name it whatever you want. So I'm just gonna name this Portal Tutorial, or Portal Banner Tutorial. Go ahead and click OK. Now I'm going ahead and open up my branding thing. I honestly don't really know what it's called. Let me go ahead and get that real quick. Just open up this. like so. Perfect. And I always put this like so. And go ahead and make this black. Just go ahead and click Control I and it should make it black. So once you guys have this, what you guys want to do is you guys want to go to File and open up your render. It should be wherever you guys saved it in Cinema 4D. For me, I always save it to my renders folder, which is right here. And I accidentally renamed it Phase Banner Portal, so I renamed it to Synergy Portal. So I'm going to open up that. Go ahead and click Control J on your render. Once it opens up, go to Filter and go to Other and go to go to Other and go to High Pass. And set this to 1.5 pixels and click OK. Once you guys have this, go ahead and put this to Overlay and put this to 50%. I clicked 6, oops, 50%. So once you guys have this, go ahead and just merge these layers like so. Alright, so once you guys have this, go ahead and click Control J, select the bottom layer and go to Filter and go to Distort and go to Ripple. Put this at like 400%-ish and click OK. This will create a nice ripple effect, so if I hide this layer, you guys can kind of see what that does. And go ahead and merge these layers again. Hit Control J one more time, go to the bottom layer, go to Filter, go to Blur, go to Gaussian Blur, set this at 30 pixels and click OK. Go ahead and set this to like 70%. Once again, select both layers. Just click one layer, hold shift and click the other layer, right click and click merge layers, rename this render, and then you guys can drag this into your banner like so. Now you guys can go ahead and close this out since we don't need this anymore. And yeah, so what you guys want to do from here is go ahead and click Control T, and if you're on Mac, it's Command T, and then hold Shift down and size this down to like, I'd say a little bit smaller than that, like about this size. Go ahead and put it into the middle. If you guys see these numbers right here, your ruler, go ahead and put this into the center like so. If you guys don't see this, like these numbers on the side, go ahead and click Control R. That will toggle the ruler on and off. So go ahead and just click R, put this in the center, and then you guys can go ahead and get your render and kind of move it to the center like so. Once you guys have it in the center, you guys can just put this back like so, and you guys are done. Alright, so once you guys have a render in, go ahead and go to the graphics pack. And go ahead and hide these top two layers, click this little arrow and go to smoke. Once you guys see the smoke, go ahead and open it, and you guys can choose whatever smoke you want. It really doesn't matter too much. I'm going to choose this one right here, and go ahead and drag this into the banner like so. Once it's in the banner, go ahead and just kind of like overlap it onto the render like so, kind of like that. And then go ahead and erase this like little line right here. Make sure your hardness is at 0% and just kind of erase this like so to kind of fade that in. And now we can move this however we want. So I'm thinking something kind of like that. If I go to the original, you guys can kind of see the smoke. I'm not entirely sure which smoke I used, I can't remember honestly, but it doesn't really matter that much. And go ahead and just put this down to like 30%. We can always change this later. For now, I'm going to go with 30%. And go to like, yeah, like that. Go ahead and click Control J and then just kind of do this on the other side as well. Maybe hit Control T, right click and click horizontal. And this will kind of like turn it to kind of like make it not look as copied. Actually, it is copied. Alright, so what you guys want to do is you guys want to go to the graphics pack again and just keep doing this. Maybe choose some different smokes. This one looks really nice. go ahead and drag this one in. But since this one has a little bit of a color, I'm going to hit Control U and turn the saturation down, and this will make it completely black and white. And just kind of like overlay this again, like maybe on the sides, like this. Always remove this like little part right there, and just kind of blend this smoke together. Again, put this down to like 20% ish. Yeah, kind of like that. I'm gonna go with that and then hit Control J and then bring it over to the other side. Hit Control T, right click, and flip horizontal. And just kind of make it not look as copied, so it's kind of different on one side. I'm just gonna move this back down like so. This is looking pretty good. So I will say on YouTube, it's compressed, like the video is compressed. So if you guys don't see the smoke, you probably won't. I've noticed on my speed arts and on my tutorials, the smoke really isn't that visible over YouTube compression. So just know that the smoke is here, and if you guys are following the tutorial, you guys should see something different in Photoshop than what you guys actually see on the tutorial. So I just want to point that out there, that because of YouTube compression, the smoke probably isn't really visible at all, but it is there. So go ahead and just put like one more smoke in there maybe. I usually go with like 3 smokes. Let's see. I'm kind of liking this smoke. And just, oops, I keep putting it into that one. Go ahead and just drop it in. And again, this one has like a little bit of a blue, so I'm just gonna hit Control U and take that out to make it completely black and white. And just kind of put a overlapping the portal a little bit. Hit Control J and bring it to the other side. Now go ahead and select like the smokes that we just added and just kind of erase it a little bit, because I noticed that it's over the render a little too much. So just kind of erase it a little bit around the render, because you want it to overlap the render but not too much. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So now we have our smokes in. I'm actually gonna drag these ones below the render, see what that looks like. Maybe put these above the render. Also, I forgot to mention, you guys want to put these down to like... Okay, so this is a different smoke. I'm a little confused here. Okay. Let's see. So go ahead and put these 2 smokes, the ones we just added, down to like 25 or like 30% maybe. I'm gonna go with like 30%. And this will add some smoke. You guys can kind of see in the original how there's some smoke in there. Once you guys start adding a bunch of effects, it will get less and less visible. And also, you can change the opacity, lower the opacity a little bit if it's too visible. So now what you guys want to do is, you guys want to check the link in the description. I will also leave a link to this little portal thing. I used a picture online on Google, and let me go ahead and find it. It's like, I'm going to change this to name and scroll down to the P's, and let me go ahead and find it. This. I should leave a link in the description to this image you guys can download, and this is like the main effect of the portal style that I came up with. So what you guys want to do is you guys want to drag and drop this in. Now you guys are probably going to need to make this a little bit bigger, because what you guys want to do is you guys want to make this portal completely like overlap and line up with the portal on like the render. So what you guys want to do is you guys want to change the blending mode to lighten, and you're gonna notice that for the most part, like right here is a little bit visible. So what you guys want to do is you guys want to erase this like so, and just kind of blend that in, and then maybe hold spacebar, and you guys can kind of go to the other side, and the other side it doesn't have that. Alright, so now what you guys want to do is you guys want to hit Control T and just kind of resize this. Hold Shift and kind of make this like the same size as the portal. You guys kind of want to match it up as best as you guys can. I think something like that, about like there. Go ahead and click Enter. And make sure it is above your render but below the smoke. And as you guys can see, the line is much more visible now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and erase that, like so. Alright, so now what you want to do is you guys want to put the fill down to 90% and go ahead and kind of erase the middle of this portal, because what we want is we want the logo to look like it's coming through, but right now the portal is covering the logo. So go ahead and just grab the eraser tool, put it down to like about this size, like 300 pixels. Put the hardness down to 0%, and go ahead and just kind of erase like in the middle-ish. And I actually have my flow down to 30%. Let me fix that real quick. There we go. Put this at 100%. I forgot to put this back at 100%, but just go ahead and put that at 100% and kind of erase like in the middle, like so. And as you guys can see, it's starting to look like it's coming through. Now I'm gonna say that I'm gonna kind of rush this. If I was actually doing a speed art, it would take my time, but for the tutorial sake, I'm gonna kind of like rush this, so it's not gonna look as good as this one. So now, once you guys have this, you guys can kind of see that it's looking pretty good. If you guys notice on this one, I have it lined up a little bit better, so I'm gonna kind of fix that a little bit. Hit Control T and just kind of like make it slightly wider, kind of like that. Just kind of try to your best to match it up with the actual portal, kind of like that. I think that's a little bit better. Maybe move the arrows, or go to click this little suction tool and move the arrows. Like use your arrow keys to kind of move it. And yeah, so once you guys have this, what you guys want to do is make a new layer and put it above the portal like this. And you guys want to get a nice blue. So it's kind of something like this, and go ahead and click OK. Get your brush, make sure it is at 0% hardness, and just kind of make like a like that. Maybe click twice. Put this to overlay, like so. And as you guys can see, it got like really blue, and you guys can kind of see how I did it in this one. And put it down to 40%. So like the opacity, put this down to 40%. And you guys can kind of start seeing how this is going to work. Like so. Okay. So what you're gonna do from here is go ahead and go to the render, and what you guys want to do is kind of fade the render in a little bit. So if I go back to here, you guys can kind of see, you can't really see like where the portal and like the rest of the banner meet, and that's because I erased around it to blend it in. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the eraser tool and just kind of make this pretty big, and just kind of erase. That's a little too much, and just kind of erase to blend the portal in like so. Just kind of erase around it like so. I'll do. Yeah. Okay, so from here, what you guys want to do is you guys want to go back into the graphics pack, and you guys want to go ahead and find the color corrections, which is right here, and use the fourth one. This is what I used for this banner, and go ahead and drag it in like so, and drag it all the way at the top. Alright, so my apologies for the cut. I completely forgot what effects I added, and looking back, I remember which effects I added. So what you guys want to do is you guys want to go into the explosives and go ahead and grab this last one right here. Go ahead and drag this into the banner and put it under the render, so at the bottom, and just kind of drag this to the side a little bit, kind of like that, and hit Control U or Command U if you're on Mac, and drag this to like a blue, kind of like that, and maybe change the saturation a little bit, make it like slightly more saturated, like so, and just kind of like put this on the side like that. Hit Control J, do the same thing, maybe hit Control T and kind of give it like a different angle, like that maybe. That looks pretty good. And maybe lower the opacities. I'm not entirely sure if I did or not, but I'm gonna do like 60%. Yeah, so you guys can kind of get this like kind of like bursting effect from the portal. So now what you guys want to do is we want to start doing a bunch of lighting. So go ahead and just make a new layer and get the same blue that you had before, and if you guys don't have it, that's completely fine. You guys can just kind of like choose your own blue, like something like maybe a dark blue or a lighter blue. Honestly, it's all preference, so just go ahead and basically make your brush big and just kind of like click around the banner, just like all over, and just kind of do like some shading. Oops. And go ahead and zoom out so you guys can kind of like go off screen a little bit more, like so. So just kind of bring the opacity down. Just kind of keep doing this. Maybe make a new layer again and get like a different shade of blue. Maybe like kind of want something bright, like maybe like this. Just kind of like start clicking all over the place and get some like some blue shades, like so. Also, what you guys can do is, I know I'm not entirely sure if it's in this pack, but I know in a lot of packs a common thing is like lights. Let's see if there's any lights in this pack. I'm not too sure if there is. So like lighting, like right here, go to lighting, and oh, this is lightning. And maybe it's under flares, kind of like just use some lights. I don't think there's any in this pack, but I know in some packs there is like some cool, really nice lights that you guys can use, so feel free to use lights if you guys have them in your graphics pack. But yeah, but if not, you guys can just go ahead and make your own, like so, and just kind of maybe lower the opacity again on this to like 70%, like so. So you guys can kind of see it's starting to get filled in a little bit. Alright, so now what you guys want to do is you guys want to go to the render, or like to the effects behind the render, make a new layer, and just kind of do the same thing we did before with like the light, but like under the render. So just kind of do like something kind of like this. Like so, and kind of like lower the opacity a ton, kind of like 50%. But when you do this, it's gonna make the render a little bit more visible, so you guys might need to erase the render a little bit more. So just kind of do that, like so. Like, yeah, like so. And now you guys can kind of see it just adds like a little bit more blue. I'm actually gonna redo that. Just kind of get, I kind of want to, kind of like a darker blue, kind of like that. And make this maybe one bigger. And do something like that. Yeah, I really like that. Like so, and just kind of add your own little lighting. Maybe change the opacity down to like 70%, make it a little bit darker because it's a little too strong there. And yeah, so now what you guys want to do is you guys want to go back up to like these blue lights, click a new, make a new layer. Just go ahead, click this button, and click this little arrow. It should bring you to a white, and if you guys don't have a white for some reason, just go ahead and click color and just boom, white. We're also going to need a black as well, so I might as well just change it to black as well. Click the little arrow and just kind of do some basic lighting. So just kind of zoom out quite a bit. Get your brush, make this pretty big, kind of like there. Just click once, and you're going to notice that it adds really nice lighting at the top, like so. Maybe change this down to like 80%, and just kind of like get some really nice highlights up there, and do the complete opposite for the bottom. And also, you guys can feel free to like rename all these layers so you guys don't forget. I just have a tendency not to, because I know which layer is which. So we're gonna go down here, click this little arrow again, switch to our black, and just do the same thing, but for the bottom. So just kind of like do like so. Sometimes I like to do like one on each side, like so, and that'll just kind of darken the bottom. It's a little too dark, so I'm gonna put this down to like maybe 50%, like so. And yeah, so I'm gonna do this again, but with the sides. So just kind of like zoom out quite a bit. Go ahead and click this arrow or this brush tool, and just kind of like, it's a little too much, but just kind of go around the sides and just kind of like add like a little black vignette thing, like so. And you're gonna notice that it just makes the edges dark a little bit, and put this at like 70% ish because it's a little too dark. I think that looks pretty good. And yeah, so we're almost done actually with this. And I'm actually quite liking how this one looks. I forgot to mention or add this dust particle, so go ahead and to the dust scratches and click this first one and just drag this in and put this, I think, at the bottom. Oops, this is the wrong one. Go ahead and just put it onto like so, like here, and yeah, go ahead and put it like near the bottom, like so, all the way at the bottom, and just kind of erase like this, like so, and this will just kind of like add like a little bit of grunge. You guys can see it like in here, like right here it is, right here and right here in the original. You guys can hit Control T and just kind of like make this like so. That's how I had it in this one. And hit Control J and just kind of do it again. Hit Control T and just kind of like move this to a different angle. Like so. And put these at like maybe 50%. I think is what I had them at. Yeah. Alright, so this one isn't looking as good as the original, of course, but it is still looking pretty similar. Now what we're gonna do is some color correction, but before that, I forgot to mention that what I did, one small little detail, is I took this portal, I duplicated it, and I put it down on the, like on the sides, kind of like this, like so, kind of like that, and I erase like around here, like so. I just kind of put it like so, like there, and change the opacity down to like maybe like 20%. It's like not that visible, but it is there, right here and right here. But yeah, do something like that. Hit Control J and put this one. Actually, what we can do is hit Control T and flip this vertical, so we get the same effect, and put it like over here, just like that. And I'm gonna move it slightly down, like so. So now what we're gonna do is we're just about done. We're just doing lighting now, honestly. So what we're gonna do is we are going to hit this curves right here and add like a little bit of a S curve. I don't remember exactly how we did this, like exactly what settings I used, I guess. But something like this should looks good. Maybe change the opacity to like 50%. Yeah. From here, what we're gonna do is we're going to add some levels and just kind of make this a little bit brighter and make the edges a little bit darker, like so, just to make this little portal pop a little more. So now what we're going to do is we are going to go to color balance and we're going to adjust the blues to make them just so much more strong. Like put this to like +10, and as you guys can see, that is quite a big difference, like so. And move like the like you guys can kind of mess with this however you want. Maybe move the red up a little bit to get more of a purplish kind of look, or move it to like the left to get more of a blue. I'm gonna go with like 10 and 10 and do like -4. And you guys can see it just makes the blues much more saturated. Perfect. So we're just about done. One last thing, if you guys have magic bullet looks, what you guys can do is hold shift, select all these layers, hit Control J, right click and merge these into one, and turn off all these layers like so, and just name this like final or something. We're gonna do a few things. Hit Control J and go ahead and click the crop tool and just click enter, so it'll crop all of like the outside parts like so. Hit Control S just to save it in case Magic Bullet Look crashes. That way we have it saved. Go to Filter, go to Magic Bullet, and go to Magic Bullet Looks. And wait for Magic Bullet Looks to load. And go ahead and use some color corrections. I'm not entirely sure what pack I used, honestly. Like, I don't remember which color correction pack I downloaded, so I apologize, but I used this color correction, and it just kind of makes it look kind of foggy, and it desaturates the colors a little bit. So as you guys can see, how it's like a little bit desaturated over here, but like it's kind of like glowing from the portal. And I actually forgot to add the little particles right here. So let me do that real quick. Go ahead and get the particles. It really doesn't matter what particles you use because they're all pretty similar. I'm just going to use the first one. Actually, the second one. Because I don't want too many particles there. I just want it like a little bit in there. Just kind of use, like, kind of put these particles in like so. I'm going to actually turn everything back on, and I'm going to delete the final layer because I'm going to do that again. Bring this down all the way at like the bottom-ish, and just kind of like put these on the sides like so. Control J, bring it over to the other side, and you're pretty much done. So now what we guys can do is do what we were gonna do before. Hit Control J, merge these layers, name this final, or everything, I guess, because it's not the final, but just like everything. We're gonna have to do that crop again since we added the particles in there. Just crop, and Control J, duplicate that, I'm gonna save once again. Go to filter, go to magic bullet, and go to looks. And I'm gonna just click OK once magic bullet looks opens because I'm already on the color correction. Just go ahead and click finished. Alright, so the color correction has been applied, but it's way too strong, like on the render, like right here, it's just way too bright. So I think I'd like put this down to like 50%. And if I compare it, you guys can kind of see how it's like really bright. So yeah. I do think, well, obviously because I'm using a different logo and the material is going to be in different spots on the logo, but I do think it's like a little too blue in the middle. Just some like final little touch-ups you could do, but I'm just okay with this because this is just a tutorial, so it's not going to be perfect. But yeah, just go ahead and put this to like 50%, maybe like 40%. And you guys can kind of see like how I got that fog look. Maybe we'll put this back up to like 60%-ish. And the color balance is a little too strong. I should have put that to like 50% or so, because it's a little too strong. But for the most part, this is just how I did the portal style banner. And if you guys get this error, because sometimes I get this, what you guys want to do is just go ahead and click file, go to new, change this to 2120 by 1192. Just go ahead and put the same name but like fixed. So like for example, portal banner tutorial fix. Click OK. Because sometimes you won't be able to save, like for some reason, I don't know why. But just go ahead and make like a new document and just drag everything into the new one. Drop it and just kind of line it up like so. And now you guys can save. And go to documents, go ahead and click save. So that's basically it for this tutorial, guys. Thanks for watching this entire video. I know it's going to be a long one. If you guys enjoyed this full banner tutorial, then please make sure to leave a like. This tutorial took a ton of time to make, so I really would appreciate it if you guys do share this video around, like it, comment, all that good stuff. So that's pretty much all I have to say, guys. Peace.